Howdy folks, Brother Jim reporting here. QAnon just reported this yesterday. I want to show you this. From Fox News, big news. Court files reveal role of McCain associate in spreading of anti-Trump dossier. There's a lot here, more than that title says. Let's have a listen.
Another Fox News alert now, and an exclusive on just how important the so-called Trump dossier may have been in the Justice Department investigation into the Trump presidential campaign. Democrats have sought to minimize it, but the latest evidence contradicts that. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge has the story for us tonight.
A month before the presidential election, the FBI and Justice Department secured a surveillance warrant for Carter Page, a Trump campaign aide with suspected Russian ties. During recent closed-door testimony, Fox News has now learned that a senior FBI lawyer said the chances of securing the Page warrant were only, quote, 50-50, without relying on the controversial anti-Trump dossier, authored by former British spy Christopher Steele and paid for by the DNC and Clinton campaign. Asked whether the FBI had enough to establish probable cause without the Steele information, senior FBI lawyer Sally Moyer, who oversaw and worked the Clinton email and Russia investigations, responded, quote, "So I think it's a close call, like 50-50, 51-49. I really think it's a close call." A second senior FBI official, then Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, also privately told House investigators about the dossier's importance. The House Russia report states, quote, McCabe testified that no surveillance warrant would have been sought without the Steele dossier information. During confirmation hearings, Attorney General nominee William Barr left the door open to investigating.
The warrant certification against Carter Page on 4 different occasions certifies that the dossier, which was the main source of the warrant, was reliable. Would you look in to see whether or not that was an accurate statement and hold people accountable if it was not?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
By contrast,
Now you notice the way he answered that? That right there is nothing like Attorney General Jeff Sessions, Mr. Flaky. It's just like that. Yes. And you have to remember another thing, that William Barr recently said, I am appalled at the corruption at what the federal department has been doing. When he started looking with John Huber into investigation of what were many different corruptions, he didn't say what it was. He just said, I'm appalled. Sounds like we have raised the bar with William Barr of justice against the Democrats.
but from House Democrats found, quote, DOJ cited multiple sources to support the case for surveilling Page, but made only narrow use of information from Steele sources. The former FBI director made the same argument to Fox's Brett Baer.
The dossier was part of that, but was not all of it or a critical part of it, to my recollection.
The FBI lawyer also told congressional investigators she was not aware of any conspiracy against Donald Trump or his campaign involving FBI or Justice Department personnel. John?
Catherine Herridge tonight. Catherine, thank.
John and Catherine Herridge are pretty good reporters. So new questions over the role of anti-Trump dossier played in securing Carter Page surveillance warrant. During recent closed-door testimony, Fox News has learned that a senior FBI lawyer said the chances of securing the Page warrant were only 50-50 without relying on the controversial anti-Trump dossier. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge reported. Newly unsealed court filings show that the late Senator John McCain, a Republican of Arizona, and an associate shared with the FBI and a host of media outlets the unverified dossier that alleged the Russians had compromising information on now President Trump. McCain had denied being the source for BuzzFeed after it published the dossier, which was funded by the Democratic National Committee and Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign, but had acknowledged giving it to the FBI. Russian tech firm used in hacking of Democrats, McCain's associate disseminated Steele dossier, unsealed documents. In a newly unsealed declaration from September, former senior counterintelligence FBI agent Bill Priestap confirmed that the FBI received a copy of the first 33 pages of the dossier in December 2016 from McCain. In another filing, David Kramer, a former State Department official and McCain associate, said in a December 13, 2017 deposition that the dossier was given to him by author and former British spy Christopher Steele, which he then provided to more than a dozen journalists at outlets including CNN, BuzzFeed, and The Washington Post. The details were first reported by the Daily Caller. The report was also shared with the State Department official Victoria Nuland, Obama National Security Council official Celeste Wallander, and Representative Adam Kinzinger, Republican of Illinois. The filings were unsealed as part of an ongoing libel case against BuzzFeed by a Russian businessman. In his deposition, Kramer said that McCain gave a copy of the dossier to then FBI Director James Comey on December 9th. Kramer told investigators that it was the sense from a Fusion GPS founder, Glenn Simpson, that, quote, having Senator McCain provide it to the FBI would give it a little more oomph than it had up until that point. McCain associated shared unverified Steele dossier pardon me, with BuzzFeed, court filing says. Quote, I think they felt a senior Republican was better to be the recipient of the rather than a Democrat, because if it were a Democrat, then I think that the view was that it would have been dismissed. Pardon me. That it would have been dismissed as a political attack, he said.
The Department of Justice under Loretta Lynch was never going to let this email investigation go too far. I think the Clinton email investigation was short-circuited because they did not want to compromise her ability to win an election. They hated Trump's guts. They started the beginning of the Russian investigation before he won as an insurance policy in case he did win.
Now, there, Lindsey Graham.
Now, remember, I said that it seemed like Lindsey Graham had decided to flip about 4 months ago through the Brett Kavanaugh approval to be SCOTUS, you know? And now he's coming up with all this sharp stuff that's going to work perfectly with Representative Nunes of California, Devin Nunes.
A lot to say right there. Blasting corruption, he alleges, of the Obama Justice Department. This in the wake of these released transcripts of testimony for the former FBI attorney Lisa Page. Congressman Devin Nunes, ranking member, House Intel Committee, the Republican from California. Sir, good morning and welcome back to our program. I've got 4 minutes and I got a stack of stuff to go through. Let's see how far we do. There are depositions set for release today that include Christopher Steele, depositions that you have not seen yet. Why is this significant today?
Well, Christopher Steele, who was contracted by the Clinton campaign to go talk to Russians, we don't know what Russians he ever talked to. We tried to get him to come and talk to the House Intelligence Committee. He refused. However, he was sued, so there was a deposition that was done. Thankfully, the courts have ordered that deposition to be released, so it could be the first time that we actually see, did Christopher Steele actually talk to Russians? Did he write the entire dossier that was then used by the FBI to target the Trump campaign?
And why would this be public today?
The judge has ordered it public, so this was they wanted it sealed. Both David Kramer and Christopher Steele have fought this, and these are going to be released. Now, there could be nothing in there, but it should be the first time we actually see in their own words what they were up to in 2016 as it relates to the dossier.
Another topic, Lisa Page. Apparently there's a question under the Texas Republican John Ratcliffe as to whether or not the Justice Department wanted the whole email matter on Hillary Clinton shut down, and she apparently admitted that under oath. How significant is that now?
I think it's very significant. Look, this never made any sense. If anyone in the military or anybody in the intelligence community, including people within the FBI, if they were to leak like that, they would be fired. They would be imprisoned. I mean, they would be prosecuted. There were dozens and dozens of classified emails that were actually put onto an illegal server that was then destroyed, that was likely picked up by foreign intelligence. God knows what countries actually have these classified emails that Clinton was sending. But the bottom line is that she should have been held accountable, and she wasn't. And there was an orchestrated effort, a conspiracy, so to speak, to ensure that she was not prosecuted.
So you believe that has now been proven based on her testimony?
Well, Paige is one of the top, she was one of the top lawyers, a lawyer for the deputy director of the FBI. The whole thing was strange. I mean, the FBI is not supposed to make these decisions. Supposedly, the Attorney General Lynch gives that decision making over to the FBI. None of this ever made sense. I mean, that's what Paige testified to. And the fact that she wasn't prosecuted on something that rank and file people in the military and intelligence community get prosecuted for is unfathomable.
But James Comey, who ran the FBI, said the following: "What I assure the American people, this investigation was done completely, honestly, and independently. No outside influence of any kind was brought to bear," end quote. What do you think of that statement?
Well, I'm not sure what...
Let's stop there for a second. So, see, this proves that Lisa Page is worried about going to prison. She let the cat out of the bag and ratted on the rest of them, didn't she? She sure did. And it's just going to get far worse, folks. As more and more people don't want to go to prison, they let out a lot more and try to blame other people.
I'm not sure what credibility Comey has left. I mean, he went out and sold a book. This guy brought tremendous disgrace on the FBI. We are still trying to get to the bottom and clean up what has been a total disaster for the FBI and DOJ, and we're a long way from getting it cleaned up to get the FBI and Department of Justice back on track so that the American people have confidence in their capabilities.
All right, let me go
Amen to that. We don't have any confidence in them, do we?
back to Lindsey Graham. He asked two questions, the second of which was this insurance policy that apparently showed up in a text message, right? You remember that?
Yes.
Did they start the Russian investigation, these are Lindsey Graham's words, into Trump as an insurance policy in case he did win? Do you believe that is the case based on everything you have seen?
Without a doubt.
Well, I actually have said this numerous times. The insurance policy is more than just the investigation that they opened up into Trump, the Trump campaign, and Trump himself. Really what the insurance policy has to do with is what is remaining of the classified documents that we have been fighting for them to be revealed as it relates to the FISA, the Bruce Orr 302. I think it would illuminate a lot of light on exactly what the insurance policy was.
Is Bill Barr wrestling with this as the Attorney General? Is Bob Mueller wrestling with this? Because I've heard a pretty consistent message from you for about 2 years now. Are these two men trying to figure out between them what is legit and what is illegal, and what do we tell the American people?
Well, look, at this point, the Mueller investigation, it went off the rails a long time ago.
Got that
They
right.
have zero credibility. They have been looking for 2 years. They have no evidence of collusion. And look, this would not be complicated to find collusion. Remember, that was the whole story. We were going to find evidence of Trump colluding with the Russians to get dirt on Hillary. Not only has that never been proven, we actually have the opposite. We have the opposite is true. It's a fact. The Clinton campaign hired Christopher Steele to go and talk to Russians to get dirt on Trump. That's never been prosecuted. So what in the hell is Mueller doing? I have no idea. But the fact that it wouldn't take long to look at people's emails, cell phone calls, any type of landline calls, bank records. This is all stuff Mueller's had. I mean, this is something that could take a month for the FBI to actually go and do. But instead, this has gone on for 2 years. This is some kind of joke. $50 million of taxpayer money's been spent. So the Mueller thing's off the rails. Okay. Thankfully, now we finally have an attorney general, and hopefully he's going to go in and start cleaning things up.
We do have an attorney general, finally. Jeff Sessions never was an attorney general.
Chelsea, appreciate your time today.
Thanks,
Bill. A lot on the table still. Devin.
I think we're opening up a big can of worms, and I think Lady Justice, is going to be coming down on the Democrats every day. It's going to get worse and worse for them. Thank you for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very important announcement. Would you like to see most of your illnesses go away? Let me introduce you to the Water Smacker. A new modern breakthrough in science has come to knowledge, ridding your body of many toxins through this state-of-the-art new technology. The testimonials are endless. People have been healed of shingles, pancreas survivor healed, colon cancer patient healed. Your skin returns its oil back to itself and elasticity. Gray hair goes away. Look younger. Red blood cells return to being round. Plaque in your arteries is wiped out. Blood pressure is lowered. Feel stronger and have more energy. Return to a more youthful feeling and look. Pick up your Water Smacker today for only $350, and don't forget to mention Brother Jim sent you. The link is down below, along with a website and other videos for a much longer description. Thank you.